Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Riverside Stadium, where the hometown Riverside Beavers are facing off against the visiting Boardman Storm. The 5-1 Beaver coming off a Week 6 blowout win against the North Rangers 34-0, while the 4-3 Spartans had a blowout win of their own in the playoff match against Cuyahoga Falls 49-0. It is a chilly 51 degrees tonight, perfect football weather for what's shaping up to be a great football game. I'm Guy Tepsik here with my colleagues Michael Horo and Santino Angelilli, and I gotta say, these teams seem like they're pretty evenly matched.
No, I mean, I'm really excited for this game because, at least from Boardman's perspective, it's either been a blowout in the negative sense or positive sense. So this is the first time they're going to be tested all the way into the fourth quarter. At least I would assume, and I think we all agree on that. I'm really excited to see how they come out to start the game, and then the loss was to the number one team in the state. And their second loss was just due to a COVID-related issue. So both really good football teams. Boardman's really good when they decide to play the right way and are all focused and detail-oriented. So if we get the team we've seen a little over half the season, and then this Riverside team comes out the way that we expect, I think we're in for a really good show.
And just to add, like we said last game, it's the playoffs, baby. I mean, every single playoff game, what doesn't matter what sport it is, both teams are going to come out wanting to move further in. And that's what brings out a lot of just unknown grittiness that we never knew this team could have. And that's just the exciting part about having these playoff games against two evenly matched teams, because it can go either way. It just really depends on what team comes out and plays the game.
No, I agree, and I was talking to Sean O'Hara and Jason Treveri yesterday, and they both said just on film this team played all year, that they played a team like Fitch, but also a very good football team that they're going to respect on both sides of the football, but they do feel there's going to be some openings for them offensively, and then defensively they said the biggest key for them is to just make tackles, secure tackles, and really limit those open field missed tackles that they've struggled with throughout the duration of the season. So I think if they kind of stay with those keys of the game, they'll have success, and both O'Hara and Treveri both felt the same way.
You mentioned Riverside lost a game earlier in the season due to COVID, or had issues with the game due to COVID reasons, while Boardman themselves is actually dealing with a bit of a COVID issue during this game. A few of their coaches actually tested positive for COVID. I can't remember how many exactly, but it'll be interesting to see how Boardman adapts to that with the lesser.
Yeah, in a football game, your coordinators really are, like the head coach and both coordinators are kind of all that same level. So losing both a defensive coordinator and offensive coordinator, along with really important assistant coaches that will help them, that's going to be huge for Boardman tonight. Their identity might be a little bit different. You'd assume it'd be the same with the same coaching staff underneath, but there could be some situations where you get a different play call than you'd expect. So that could definitely affect this Boardman team in a way that we wouldn't expect it to, because it's more of a behind-the-scenes issue that you don't really see on the field.
Riverside won the toss, and they elected to defer to Boardman for the first half. Back to receive is number 1, Anthony Hightower, and number 4, Terrence Thomas. Fielded at the 25. That's Cam Thompson with the ball, running around the left side, gets brought down in. Looks like there was a flag on the play. Waiting to see the call from the official.
Flag on play.
Wow. You do not see that often. You do not see an offensive face mask very often. That ends up call.
That'll knock the Spartans back to the 20-yard line.
Kind of a petty call there. I mean, it's the playoffs. You don't want to do that the first play of the game. Didn't affect the play in a way that, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Don't really agree with that, but.
1st and 10 for the Spartans. Treveri in a quarterback, Thomas in motion. Throws it to the left side. That's to Hightower. Hightower looking for some room. And he gets tripped up about the 30.
Great first play call of the game. Boardman usually runs the ball first play of the game, so that's a really good way to break that habit, especially second round of the playoffs against a good team. get the ball on the outside. It's going to extend the box a little, and then it'll open up the run game to get the game moving forward, especially on this first drive. It's huge to convert that first down and really get into a groove.
Last play, move the chains. Will be 1st and 10 from about the 30. Hands it off to O'Horo. O'Horo looking for a gap. It's about 4 on that play.
So on that play, we had 3 people.
Brought down by Jameer Francis.
Basically,
Gain of 4. Brings up 2nd and 6.
at fullback, coming up at the wingback. You don't see Boardman has not shown that formation a lot, and I do think that will help. Creating an extra threat in the backfield where this defense really has to respect both sides.
Treveri dumps it off to Thomas. Thomas going around the left side, looking for a gap. Wrapped up just before the 40.
Terrence Thomas on the carry.
I'll bring it to 3rd down and 3. 10 minutes and 45 seconds left to play in the first quarter.
And what's really interesting about that formation is O'Horo is a pretty good lead blocker, so by doing that, you get an extra blocker with Thomas on the outside, which even though that play didn't end in much, later in the game that could definitely break if we get some blocking on the outside there. So, again, look for that formation in some more critical situations later on the game. I think that kind of set it up now, so we'll see that later on in the game.
To the right, to the left. O'Horo in the backfield. Fakes the handoff to O'Horo. Treveri will take it himself, running down the sideline, picks up the 1st down and more. Out at about the 50.
And great job there by Treveri to option 1, option 2 wasn't there. You know it's 3rd and 3. He's athletic enough to pick that up, and he just said, hey, you know what? I see it. I'm going to go take it. And that's what you need to do in a 3rd and short. You need to make sure you convert the chains, because that's really the name of the game in football, is just moving the chains. So great job there by Treveri to see an opening and just make sure he got the 1st down. And really a great pickup there, which we haven't seen him run the ball a lot this year due to him being out so long with an injury.
That's Hightower in motion. Hands it off to Hightower, looking for a block. Gain of about a yard on that run. I'll bring up 2nd down.
Another really nice thing that I'm seeing is this offense is moving really fast. You don't see a lot of that set go and then they wait and look at the sideline. They're just moving. You can see the D-line starting to really breathe pretty heavy now, and that will help Boardman, especially late in the game.
Spartan's looking for a signal from the sideline, showing a 4-out set, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Treveri takes it, drops back, fires to the left side, and that is picked off by the Riverside Beavers.
What a crazy pick there. You just saw the Beaver player just kind of dive over towards the ground right before the ball hit the ground and caught it. That was a display of just great athleticism. And good job by him. He got the ball for his team, and now with that momentum, the Beavers are going to try and go down and score.
I totally agree with you, and honestly, the ball was not that bad. The receiver needs to come back to the ball, and on all curl routes, receivers are taught to work back to the football, okay? So the base concept was a 10-yard curl where you run 10 yards, you turn around. Well, you can't just sit and turn around. You have to work back to the football so you can make that play. And by him sitting there, it gave the defender an opportunity to come forward and make a really athletic play.
Showing the reverse, going down the field, man wide open at the 30, going down the sideline, tackle just past the 30.
What a play call by Riverside. Offenses always preach up, and they just weren't ready for it.
Handoff, going around the left side, brought down just before the 10.
What a way.
Thomas didn't get there in time.
Mm-hmm. And even dig deeper in that play, the backside post was even open too. There was no one on either side of the route.
Handoff going around the right side. Down at about the 10, a little past the 10. That was number 4, Matthew Spofford on the carry. I'll bring up 3rd and 2. Tackled by Sean O'Horo on that play.
Great job here by the defense to respond to a big play like that. It'd be really easy to get yourself down. But they've played hard this drive so far other than that first play. And to set up a 3rd down here, to hold a team like this to a field goal after a big play like that would be huge and a moral victory for this Boardman defense.
3rd and 2, 7 minutes and 57 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Middle.
Kevin Loker on the carry. Brought down by Braden Joseph.
And that'll move.
Kind of got around the ankle in the backfield, but just missed it. And then the Riverside running back was able to push through and just get enough. It looked like it was right by the chains, but obviously it was enough to get the first, but almost had to stop there. So now you're in, I think, I don't know the Riverside situation at kicker, but this could tap for territory.
One low, hand off. Short of a touchdown. Bring up second down, second and goal, ball at the 2.
Gain of 5 in their second and goal from the 2.
7 minutes left to play in the first quarter. Clock is still running. Quarterback's number 1, Dominic Lulo. Fakes the handoff, takes it himself. Good wrap up by the Boardman defense there. He will not get into the end zone that play. That'll bring up third down.
Great job there by this Boardman defensive line. Really did a great job getting low, exploding off the ball in the snap, and then getting penetration through the offensive line. Setting up another third and short. Now really this is like man on man. It's like we're going to come at you, or you're going to stop us. And this is really where the grit and heart of a football team is shown on the goal line.
Lulo with 2 men behind him. Lulo takes it, passes it.
Oh my goodness!
By number 1, Anthony Hightower.
Great job by Hightower to see the snap come in front of the
reception from Hightower, and first play, I mean, your back is already against the wall. You're on the 3-yard line. But having a botch snap added to that just is not good for the offense. And, you know, especially since the snap went so high into the air after Treveri tried to catch it, that just gave more time for the defense to close up on it and less time for Treveri to get it and try and get it away.
Yeah, and again, this is going to be a game of momentum. That's how every playoff game, that's how most high school games are. So Boardman's going to have to make a stand here on defense, show them that they're here to play. They played well tonight. Offensively, they really did move the ball well in that first drive. Just one little thing didn't go right where the receiver didn't really come back to the ball, leading to an interception. And then a big trick play, but then Boardman gets an interception to get the ball back. So it's not like Riverside's dominating right now. Little mistake or two, let it a big play and then a safety, but it's still anyone's ball game. So Boardman really has to come out and respond right now. They have to be physical, and then you get the ball back for their offense, because I think their offense was doing really great things that first drive. They were moving the ball fast. They weren't waiting until the play clock would go down, which we've seen a little bit this year, which kind of hinders the quarterback to be able to look at the defense and kind of make a read on which side he wants to go with the ball. So they did a really good job that first drive of really pushing the pace and pushing this Riverside defense. So if they can make a stand and get the ball back, they could be right back in this game and gain some momentum back.
Kicking away for the Spartans as always is number 29, Carson Essed. Ball is up and away. Fielded at about the 20. Taking it, trying to get through a hole. Breaks through a tackler, and he is wrapped up at the 45. And that was number 21, Isaiah Drake, on the return.
And Isaiah Drake there, great to get them to the ground, along with rallying to the football. On the goal line was the same thing. That 3rd and 1 that we didn't get, it was an arm tackle, the reason why he converted it. So that is why Boardman's going to have to really rally to the football and make good tackles.
Willow hands it off up the middle. Wrapped up just before the 20. That was number 35 of the Beavers, Dominic Trumba, on the carry.
And Riverside's O-line is very, very physical and extremely athletic and quick, which in high school that is honestly more important than size. If the O-line can be physical and athletic and get to their poles, it's going to open up giant gaping holes like that. And Boardman's defensive line is really going to have to hold this line of scrimmage to kind of stop that run game being so prominent.
Ulo hands it off again. That's Trumba up the middle, dragging a few men with him down just before the 10. Gain of about 10 yards on that run.
In a way that tells if the line is winning or not is it's called rearranging the line of scrimmage. The defensive line right now is 2, 3, 4 yards behind, not behind, but in front of the line of scrimmage necessarily, where this offensive line for Riverside is just getting a great push up front. So the Boardman defensive line is do what they did on the goal line and really get low and just shoot these gaps and hold the line of scrimmage. Great job there.
Trying to see who was on the tackle. I believe it was 23, Richie Evans.
Great job there by Richie Evans, shooting the A-gap, getting into the backfield and playing downhill fast, making a tackle in the backfield.
Michael Andrews coming in, subbing with 35, Dominic Trumba. Ulo with Spofford to his left and Andrews to his right. Hands it off to Spofford. Running, still going, fights his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Riverside.
And again, what we talked about pregame, you cannot miss tackles in open space. That is the death of the defense. And again, we even talked about that about 4 or 5 plays ago. The arm tackles are not going to do it. It was proven on the kickoff, and it was proven on that 3rd and 3 early in the game. And then once again, it's been proven. So the Boardman defense really needs to come on the sideline, reevaluate, and say, hey, God, we got to rally the football. We have to play together. We have to use all 11 pieces of this defense. They preach they have a chain, right? All 11 links of the chain make it strong, right? That's what they need to do tonight and play well. They cannot arm tackle and get spread out. This is what the Riverside offense wants to do. They want to spread them out on that option play, right? You isolate the outside linebacker as a pitch key, and then you pitch off of them, or the defensive end. And by doing that, you spread the defense out. So they really have to rally together. The corners, outside linebackers, and safeties really need and force them side to side. They cannot let them get north and south, especially on option plays. That's the way to beat that, is force them linear. You cannot let them get vertical on you.
Number 26, Henry Bush, kicking that extra point, and it is good, and that'll bring the score to Riverside 9, Boardman 0. We'll be back when the teams take the field.
Riverside scoring drive. Beavers had 45 yards in 4 plays in a minute 25. And the final 14 yards from Matt Spofford. Henry Bush to take off.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, number 26, Henry Bush, kicking away. Back to receive is number 1, Anthony Hightower. A squib kick there. Fielded at the 25. That's Cam Thompson with the ball. Cam Thompson looking for a gap, running around the right side. And he is out just before the 40.
And that ended up working out kind of for them, but you cannot go side to side like that or even backwards. It's just never going to work 9 and almost 10 times out of 10. Like, that's not going to work. You have to get upfield and just get what you can get on a kickoff. Get your offense in good field position. Your job is not to score a touchdown on a kickoff. Your job is to set your offense up for a good drive. And it didn't hurt them right now, but you cannot do that. You cannot create a habit of that.
Treveri, Thomas in motion. Hands it off to O'Horo up the middle. Gain of about a yard on that play.
That was just a good play by the Beaver defense there. They read that play right off the rip and got O'Horo down before he could. He only got a 1-yard gain. They took him down before he can really make anything happen.
Yeah, and you saw a bunch of Boardman offensive linemen just standing around, looking at the play where the Beaver defensive line really set the precedent there.
Treveri faking the handoff, throw it over the middle to Thomas. Looks like they'll rule that incomplete.
Good play call there. Think more of an RPO. You read the outside linebacker or even the Mike linebacker. They come down and fall for that run fake, then you pitch out there. A little bit of a better ball may have gave Thomas some room to work with, but definitely something you want to go back to. Just need to get a better ball there.
3rd and 9 for the Spartans. Treveri drops back under pressure, dumps it off to O'Horo. O'Horo looking for extra yards, and he picks up the first down.
Great play design and great job by Anthony Hightower. He got the block that sprung that to the first down, and O'Horo doing a good job of reading the block, getting it outside, and then not trying to make something crazy happen, seeing the first down and then just making sure he got it. So great job all around by all 11 players there for the Boardman offense.
So 1st and 10 for Boardman, ball at their own 49. 3 wides to the left, 1 to the right. Ferry takes it, fakes the handoff, throws over the middle. That's to Thomas again. Gain of about 4 yards on that play.
And there's that same play again, and that's exactly 5 yards on first down is a great way to start like a new set of downs. So great job there. Now your playbook's pretty open, like we talk about a lot of the time. Once you can open up your playbook, your offense becomes extremely dangerous. So now they have a 2nd and 5. You might want to take a shot here. The run game isn't great, so that probably isn't something you want to do right now, but you start to open that playbook up.
Treveri takes it, hands it off to O'Horo up the middle. No gain on that play.
And what Boardman needs to do to really get their offense going, they have to establish a run. By just getting dominated up front right now, what that's going to do is just not going to help your passing game out either, because it's just going to close those windows. So if they can start running the ball, then this Beaver defense really has to start to respect that and move more people into the box, which is tackle the tackle, and then that will open up more windows outside.
Treveri drops back, looking to the left side. That's complete to Anthony Hightower. That'll pick up the first down.
Great route and catch there by Anthony Hightower. Push vertical, sold fade, put 2 feet in the ground, and then work back outside downhill for a good comeback route. Past the 6. Treveri doing an amazing job timing that up and getting the ball on that outside shoulder, which was kind of the same play as that pick early in the drive. And what Hightower did to prevent that is he came back to the football, which we didn't see that first time. So great job. They're finding some openings in this defense where if they can just stick to that, not try and get away from it too early, then I think they'll have a lot of success with that.
Thomas, Fleming, and Thompson to the left side. Treveri going downfield. That's for Hightower. Complete, and here, walk into the end zone. Touchdown Spartans.
Great job there by Anthony Hightower to not wait for the ball, but to play the ball the right way. But he had beat the defender, so the defender saw his eyes get big, so he jumped up too early, misplayed the ball, and then Hightower being able to backpedal, catch the ball, and then just keep his path without creating a pass interference call. And Boardman's right back in it just like that, so this extra point is crucial because then there will only be a 2-point game, meaning if you kick a field goal, you're up by 1, so they need to make this right here.
Kicking the extra point is number 29, Carson Essed. Holding is number 10, Colin Thomas.
Pre-snap flag.
Flag before the play. Looks like it'll be on Riverside.
Offside against the Beavers.
Offsides against Riverside.
Half the distance to the
Now move the ball up towards the end zone. And the extra point is no good. And that'll bring the score to 9-6. Riverside leads by 3 with 2 minutes and 31 seconds left to play in the first quarter.
Riverside did do a good job of creating penetration there, but the kick didn't even look like it was going to clear the I think that it was really Riverside as opposed to the Spartans really hurting themselves there. So
Boardman scoring drive ran 62 yards in 7 plays. Took 2:10 off the clock, final 37 yards. Treveri to Anthony Hightower.
Boardman on that last drive 7 plays for 62 yards.
And that's what they really need to do is long, continuous drives like that wear down a defense. And by doing that, it's going to create a lot of success later on in the game. So they did a great job of moving fast, playing their football, and setting the tempo, not letting the defense do that. So by doing that, creating long drives, we really later on in the game, they had really good field position, so 7 plays was just enough. But if they're on their own 20, if they can get double-digit plays, take a lot of time off the clock, and then just create that fast-paced offense, the defense is just going to wither away and not be able to keep up with that. So great job there by Boardman with having a long, continuous drive.
Ball is up and away. Fielded at the 10. He touched it, fumbled it, gets back on his feet, brought down just past the 20. Flag on the play.
Brady McKnight on the return, brought down by Jared Mahood. There's a flag on the play.
Not many times you see the returning team fumble the football and then still have a really good return. Just those are mistakes. Those are areas Boardman needs to capitalize on. You cannot let them get away with that. Now, the flag came in. I didn't see what it was. I don't know if you guys did, but it went a block in the back. So it was a block in the back on Riverside, so that obviously helps them. But without that, like, that's a really good return, and they're 15 yards further upfield. So when the ball's on the ground, you have to make a play on that. Even though they may have not been able to get to the football, you have to get that tackle for loss, which on a kickoff would be behind the 25-yard line.
All set. Riverside up at their own 13. First and 10, ball to 13. 2 minutes and 24 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Lulo takes it, will run it himself, gets through a gap, getting dragged down, brought down just before the 25.
Don Lulo on the carry.
And another play there. The Spartan defensive line got rearranged, and Riverside came out with a really good play there. You cannot give up those type of plays on first down, because now they can take a shot and do those trick plays downfield and solve another play to get 4 yards.
Gain of 5 on that last run. Lulo takes it, hands it off up the middle. Spartan defense doing a nice job pushing him back there. I believe that was number 64, Jake Powell, leading the tacklers on that play.
A great job there by Jake Powell getting back there, and then also Nate Fleming, number 22, also getting back there and really helping that defensive line out. So looking to the future here for Boardman, what's benefiting them is adding a linebacker to the blitz. So the only way that can hurt them, though, is now that takes someone out of pass coverage that opens up your middle of your field. So you have to be cautious while doing that, but at the same time, you have to stop the run.
Lulo takes it, running around the right side, looking for an opening, takes it, runs himself, running around the left side, gains a few extra yards, and he's wrapped up nicely just past the 20. And it looks like they will mark him short. 4th and 1.
I think that was Terrence Thomas there. Way to close space and stop them on 4th and 1.
And you can see his speed on both sides of the ball. He really chased down the ball carrier and had a great tackle on him right before the first down. So, Terrence Thomas, a very valuable asset on offense and on defense as well.
Lulo punts it away, fielded by Thomas. Ball will roll just before the 26-yard line for Boardman.
And those right there are the hidden yards in a football game. So, yes, okay, great stop by Boardman, right? But then to let a ball roll like that and not be in the right position to at least fair catch it, that rolled about 10, 15, even maybe 20 yards, where that's a first down or 2 first downs in a football game. That's 20 yards of hidden yards that add up at the end of a game. So, and that's like plays less that you have to run offensively to get 2 whole first downs. So those really are things that they have to be deal-to-oriented on.
First and 10 for the Spartans, ball at their own 27. Treveri takes it, hands it off to Ohoro. Ohoro fighting for a few extra yards. Rolls forward to about the 30, gain of 3 on that run.
It really seems like throughout this game that Boardman's run game is not really working out all that well. Their passing is very well. It's working very well for them. Every pass play they do, they make some sort of completion, whether it be like 5 yards or a touchdown play, like we saw last possession. But I don't know. I'm curious to see if they're going to try and go for a more pass-heavy offense in this next quarter, or if they're going to keep trying to mix it up. Maybe they get the pass game going and then switch up to the run. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but yeah.
And with that last play, gain of 3, and that'll bring an end to the first quarter. Your score, Riverside 9, Boardman 6. We'll be back at the beginning of the second quarter.
Second and 7 for Boardman.
Boardman, 2nd and 7. Treveri running around the left side, dumps off to Ohoro. Ohoro looking for a gap, gets through, down at the 45, gain of 15.
Really big play there for about 15, so great job there by the Spartan offense to use Terrence in a way that he doesn't need the football.
1st and 10 for Boardman. Treveri hands it off to Ohoro up the middle. Doesn't get very far on that play. Boardman, 6 rushing attempts for 9 yards.
And the Spartans here are really struggling with inside zone. So you might want to work with some more outside zone, which really means running in the 2 A gaps right next to the center. They're not having a lot of success there. They maybe work outside where they can get a guard tackle on someone, then use the fullback through there. They might have more success.
Treveri looking down the right side of the field. That's through his hands. That pass intended for number 1, Anthony Hightower, and he is visibly frustrated about that one.
What a great throw by Treveri. You always tell him fullbacks to throw the ball up and over onto the outside arm of the receiver. He did an amazing job of that. Hightower created separation as the ball was in the air, but just could not finish the catch. So great ball by Treveri. It's a far hash throw, meaning he's on the hash opposite of where the receiver is. That's a really far throw. It's downfield, and he had great spiral on the ball, got the ball on the outside shoulder, and Hightower created separation. Just he needs to come down with that because that might be 6 points for the Spartans right there. But instead, you're set for a 2nd and long. So just really got to convert on big plays like that.
3rd and 10 for the Spartans. Treveri takes it, trying to run himself. Gets tackled behind the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 4th and about 11. Good defensive effort by Riverside on that play, and the Spartans will send out their punting unit.
4th and 11.
Ten minutes and 28 seconds left to play in the second quarter. Clock is ticking.
And the Spartans can't have 3 and outs where you don't move the football at all. It just, even if they have to punt, at least you're moving the football. That's going to help a little bit. But losing yards in 3 plays is not beneficial at all for your offense, and it's just going to create more energy for the defense.
That'll be a fair catch for Riverside, just at about the 24.
32-yard no return on the punt. 1st and 10 Riverside from their
32-yard punt on that play. I'll set up Riverside 1st and 10, ball at their own 24.
So Riverside having the punt in the last drive, almost converting. We'll see how they respond here. And the Boardman defense really has to build off of that last defensive stand.
And Spartan defense doing a nice job swarming him in that play. I believe that was number 38, Cayman Walker, on the run.
And that's what that Boardman defensive line has to do. It kind of helps me to reminisce on that defensive line that I played with Tino Akuri, Alex Uzika, and then Kareem Hamden, where you have 5 guys at the football once. That's how they're going to have to play every single snap.
Ulo takes it, dumps it off, option play, running around the right side with no man from him, flag on the play. He's going down the sideline, pursued by Terrence Thomas. He can't get there. He will walk into the end zone, but this may be coming back.
The Riverside touchdown, but we have a flag on the play.
And it looks like that play will be coming back.
And right as we compliment their defense for getting a TFL, it goes for about 6 yards. So obviously it looks like it's coming back, but how about that timing?
I mean, that was just a huge play for the Beavers. I mean, their offense is kind of playing the opposite of Boardman's. You know, they're
Running towards left side. Nice wrap up just past the 20-yard line.
And that is a great kick-off play by the Spartans there. If you keep them within the 25, it's better than a touchback. So great job there by them to pin them inside their own 25. It looks like, by the way, great job by them to get down there and cover the ball.
That was number 16, Brady McKnight, on the return. And that'll set up the Beavers 1st and 10, ball at their own 25, with 5 minutes and 45 seconds left to play in the half. Ulo with 2 men behind him. Dumps it off. That's Spofford. Hurdles a man, and he's down at the 30. Flag on the play. And looking like this will be coming back.
Great athleticism there by Riverside, but can't hurdle in high school football. So it's going to come back, but great job by him, but it's just a flag in high school football.
Well, I'm just going to say when he just hurdled him, I think I put a kink in my neck. It just kind of twitched. That was just a little bit of a display of athleticism from him. And I mean,
I believe that was number 4, Matthew Spofford, on the carry.
Spofford he's been a dominant runner this game. I mean, he's a big back, and he's very fast.
He's a very tall running back, 6'3", 205 pounds. He's a
big running back.
He's getting up there, too.
And he's fast. He's very fast, too, as you saw on the run, the 75-yard run up the sideline into the end zone that was called back. But, I mean, that's just, that seems to be one of Riverside's main players on their offense.
Very much an Eric Dickerson type player. He's got the height combined with the speed. 1st and 23 for Riverside. 5 minutes and 38 seconds left to play in the half. Spofford in motion. Ulo drops back, looking. Almost picked off. That pass almost picked off by number 22, Nate Fleming.
And I know I might be a little bit late on this, but I did not realize the significance of that penalty. That was a huge 15-yard penalty for Riverside here. Which personally I don't think hurdles should be legal, but they are, so you have to play within the rules. And it's helping the Spartans here, but wow, that really sets them back. And then a tip pass there by Fleming doing a great job.
Ulo on the screen pass. Knight got tackled. Wrapped up around the 10. Fights for a few extra yards out about the 12 or 13.
And that is 2 great plays in a row by Fleming. One, the first play, recognized the pass, got a hand on it, got it out, and then he recognized the screen and plays downhill fast and goes and attacks the football. Yes, he missed the tackle at first, but he hindered the runner enough where his team was able to rally around the football and all 11 guys were able to get there. And then on top of that, they were able to get the runner out of bounds to stop the clock. So if they can get a stop here on this third and extremely long, they're going to be able to get the ball back with at least 5 minutes left to play, and they have an opportunity to go down and score. They have 2 drives in a row where they've had 7-play drives where they've sustained that and gone down and scored, both over 50 yards. So
Ulo takes the ball himself, down behind the line of scrimmage, tackled there by, I believe that was number 30, Lane Strines.
And number 8 there, LaBelle, he did a great job of, he didn't make the play, or he didn't make the tackle, but he made the play where he got in the backfield and made the quarterback move to the right into a tackle. So he created disruption in the backfield, which is what you're taught defensively to help your teammates go and make the play, which that's unselfish football, and that's what's going to win a football game.
Punting the ball away. Takes a bounce in Boardman's favor. That'll go out about the 36.
And everything is starting to go Boardman's way. What me and Santino talked about earlier, it's all about momentum, and the momentum is now swayed and favoring Boardman tremendously. And by doing that, what do you have? Not a great punt. It rolls backwards. And now you're on the 37-yard line. Great position to score. You've had 2 sustained drives in a row of 7 plays. You have less than half the field to work, and you have 4.5 minutes left to go. So great opportunity here for the Spartan offense to go ahead even more going to halftime.
1st and 10 for the Spartans. Treveri dumps it off. Thomas looking downfield. Too far for his man. Number 1, that pass attempt for number 1, Anthony Hightower.
Boardman Spartans kind of look like the Cleveland Browns right there on that play with their pass. Wow, Terrence Thomas just making a little bit too far, put the ball a little bit too far in front of Hightower, but still, just like we said earlier, in the playoff game, your playbook is open, and I don't think I haven't seen Boardman run that play at all this season.
No. And what we talked about earlier, too, is after a turnover, a big play, what do? Another big play back, right? Because you have the momentum. Now, a point to the receiver there is, yes, the ball's a little too long, but what do? He ran with his arm up, which that slows you down just enough where he can't get to the ball. If he would have run with both arms to the last second, he may have been able to get the ball, maybe fall down. But so a teaching point for the coaches to kind of talk to him when he comes on the field is, make sure you run all the way into the football. Don't run with your arm up because that slows you down. Because I think if he did that, he would have had an opportunity to get the football.
And Boardman will call their second timeout of the half. They call that timeout with 4 minutes and 25 seconds left to play in the half. Your score, Boardman 13, Riverside 9. We'll be back after the timeout. Second and 10 for Boardman. Thomas will take it. Going on the side out at about the 36. Gain of 1 yard on that play. Bring up 3rd and 9.
And what Boardman needs to do here is they cannot even think about that last big play they almost had. It's gone. It's over. You got to worry about this right here. So look for maybe a vertical concept here, maybe a vertical switch play, which they like to do on 3rd down.
Treveri drops back, avoids man, throws it away.
Very fast.
So now it's interesting, right? Maybe you go for it here. Like 9 yards and you already into their territory, but at the same time, if you don't convert, it's instead of punting it, pinning them deep, they have a lot shorter way to go. So personally, I would go for it here. You have an opportunity to go up deep. You have receivers that are that good. And it looks like Hightower's having trouble with his visor. She's going to take that out in a foggy game because he keeps taking his helmet off, and the referees could take him out of the game for that and make him sit out of play. So he's got to keep that on. He can't keep taking that off.
It looks like these Spartans will go for it here. 4th and 9, ball at the 36. Treveri drops back under pressure, throws it, incomplete. That pass intended for number 22, the tight end Nate Fleming. Almost picked off on that play. Right through his hands.
And really an interception there would have helped the Spartans. It would have just been like a punt. So I don't hate the play call. It's a good play call. Push the field vertical. You haven't thrown to your H-back / tight end, which is Fleming, a lot this year. So you think he would open up. He actually was. It was a good ball, just a slight bit out in front of him. But really not a bad play call in that situation. They've had a lot of success in those switch vertical type plays. So not an awful play call, and their defense is playing well enough to give them the ball, and they're on 35 is not an awful situation to be in.
That results in a turnover on downs. Riverside will set up shop at the 36, 1st and 10. That's Spofford in motion. Lua passes out to him. Good pursuit by the Spartan defense. Brought down at the 30-yard line.
Brought down by Scott O'Horo.
And a great job there by O'Horo and Thomas. Both of them almost identically fighting through blocks and then both making a tackle for loss. So that's -5 yards. That's like a loss of down and a penalty. So great job there by the Spartans. And what the Spartans did, even though their drive wasn't well, they only took off 19 seconds in their drive. So now this team, they tend to chew more clock, but you have one timeout left and you've set them behind the sticks where they have 15 yards to go, and they're probably going to throw the ball. So you can cause an incompletion, that'll stop the clock, and you have a great position here to have something going.
2nd down and 16, throws to the left side. That's complete. Just past the right at the fix. That'll pick up the 1st down. 16-yard pass on that play, just what they needed.
And this quarterback here for Riverside, yes, he's undersized, but in high school, again, those things don't matter as much as they do at the next level. So he's doing a great job of stepping in the pocket. He read that play right to left. The right side was covered. Too many men there. Worked across the field, worked up in the pocket, and found a deep comeback route down the field to convert a 15-yard conversion. So great job on that 16-yard pass by the quarterback.
Will fakes the handoff, throws it over the middle. That's complete to his man down at the 30. I believe that was number 20, Caden Tinner, on the reception.
And what a catch by Caden Tinner. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Fully extended out, catching the ball, and then also what is really difficult about play, which people don't tend to look at, where he caught the ball, he landed on the ball, but kept it secure and made sure his arms hit and the football didn't. So great job all around by him. Then a great throw by the quarterback once again, down deep in the middle of the field where you can't put it in there, you got to put it on the line. So great job all around by the offense for Riverside there.
1st and 10 for Riverside, ball at the Spartan 31. About 3 minutes left to play in the half. Lulo takes it, hands it off, running around the right side, tackled just behind the 30. That was number 38, Cayman Locker on the run. And that'll set up 2nd down and 10, or 2nd down and 7. Riverside with 3 wideouts to the left, 1 to the right. Hands it off. Brought down behind the line of scrimmage there.
Now you could see there the Boardman defensive line just causing havoc in the backfield. Not allowing the Beaver running back to get any space at all. He actually had to go backwards because he bumped into that huge pileup right there in the middle. Just a great play by the Boardman defense.
No, I agree, and that's your captain, Jake Powell, right? In a big-time moment and you need a big play, who are you going to rely on? Someone that is your captain, your leader, your defense. So great job by Jake Powell making that play.
Willow drops back, looking under pressure, throws it to the left side. That pass incomplete. Good coverage by number 4, Terrence Thomas. Couldn't see who that was.
I think Marco Stiliano.
Yeah, Marco Stiliano in the coverage there as well.
And again, giving a quarterback that much time, you're going to find someone open. You gave them time to look at all 4 receivers. You cannot do that as the Boardman defensive line. You make a great play, and then you do that, and you give no pass rush. So as the defensive backs, you really should only have to cover for like 3-4 seconds at most, but instead you have to cover for like 5 seconds. So really this visitor crowd here for Boardman is really into the game, kind of taking over the home field advantage, causing Riverside to call a timeout. So great job here by the fans, kind of being the 12th man here for the Spartans.
And Riverside will call their first timeout of the half. We'll be back after the timeout. Fourth and 9, 4-yard line.
And once again, not having a pass rush is going to cause as the backside crosser, which you usually don't get to on a flood concept like that, which they just ran. So great job there by the Riverside quarterback. And then the receiver of not just running and getting himself covered, he sat in space and found an opening and not covering himself up. So great job all around there by the Riverside offense.
Gain of 3 on the last run.
And Riverside does have 2 timeouts. So yes, the clock is low, but 2 timeouts is an eternity once you're inside the red zone.
Hands it off. Carry.
3 yards, Riverside touchdown. Henry Boschon for the point after touchdown.
And with the keeps winning the 2-point game. So now you drive down, you get in field goal range, you use your last time out, you can go up by a point, you go into halftime. So, but again, they have to advance the ball forward on this kick return. They can't run side to side and make some crazy stuff happen. Move the ball forward, get in good field position to strike. You have a quarterback that can make the throws downfield, and you have the receivers to make the plays. So that's what you need to do really right now with 40 seconds left in the timeout to get a field goal and go up by a point.
They went 64 yards in 9 plays.
After that failed extra point, the score will be brought to 15-13 Riverside leads. With 40 seconds left to play in the first half, we'll be back when the teams are back on the field. Kicking away is once again number 26, Henry Bush.
And you see the Spartans have adjusted now. Their kick returners are they're at the 15 and almost creeping up to the 20. And they have Thomas up even shorter. And
Squib kick, fielded by O'Horo, rolls out to the 44-yard line.
And that almost went the other way to Riverside. So great awareness there, not to just work back after the kick and falling asleep, which you tend to see, but just getting on the football, and that's exactly what they needed. You're on your own 43-yard line. A first down gets you across the field, and you're in their territory with a timeout and 36 seconds left to go. So really some room to work here. It's not as gloom and doom as it might seem for this drive.
1st and 10 for the Spartans, ball at their own 43. Trey with a Horo next to him. Rolls out to the left side. Dumps off to Cam Thompson. Gets out of bounds just at the 47.
Jason Treveri's pass to Cam Thompson. Knocked out of bounds by...
You know, that was very impressive body control by Cam Thompson there. You know, jumps up in the air to catch the ball and gets hit while in the air, but still is able to put a foot down, just in bounds, turn around and try to go, which he got tackled out of bounds before he could do anything.
Treveri with the short pass to number 22, Nate Fleming.
And by not getting the first down, it doesn't stop the clock, which needed to happen there. And they...
Looks like Boardman will use their final timeout of the half.
And before the play happens, you have to know if we don't get the first, you're going to use a timeout. You can't decide after wasting another 6-7 seconds. You have to know that before you run the play. Like, hey, if we don't get the first down, it doesn't stop the clock, we have the timeout ready to go. You can't waste another 7-8 seconds and then call the timeout. Like, that's the little things that are going to hurt this team on this drive. Like, you want to go down and get a field goal. So now you have 17 seconds instead of 24 to work down without a timeout into field goal range. So they're going to have to really get on the ball and work really out routes. So now as this Riverside defense, you're probably not going to run coverages with cover the middle of the field. Probably some more cover 2 areas or like some quarters, which is really just 4 deep and really defend that, the sideline, which is the only way for them to stop the clock. Other than a first down, which only stops it temporarily. That will only stop until they set the chains.
3rd down and 1 for Boardman. Treveri takes it, drops back, throws it to the left side. That's to Fleming. Fleming gets out of bounds just at the 41.
Very fast to fleet to Nate Fleming.
So now, in this situation, you have 11 seconds, right? You have one deep play. You would assume to Thomas or Hightower or Thompson. Excuse me, they have 3 really good receivers there. All 3 vertical threats. But it has to be towards out of bounds. So you might run like a hitch in a corner to work that out of bounds, get the corner to suck up. But they have to work the sidelines here.
Treveri drops back, under pressure, has to run out of it, goes down.
Very sacked by Matt Watson.
Trying to snap the ball, and they will not get set up in time. That play will bring an end to the first half of this game. Your score, Riverside 15, Boardman 13. Riverside will get the ball back in the second half. We'll be back after halftime.
Second half.
Under the direction of David Ford, Brad Allen, Joe Wolf, and Jeff Wolf. Auxiliary directors, Dina Cerruti, Lisa Lewins, and Jessica Lewins. And field commanders, Andrew Johnson, Anna Strimple, Timothy Cypress, Ellie Pollock. This is the 2020 edition of the Riverside Regiment Marching Band. Tonight, we honor our seniors as we look back at some of their favorites from past shows. First up, let's relive the excitement of when the seniors were sophomores and celebrated the music of Billy Joel. To set things straight, we didn't start the fire, and neither did the Piano Man. As a special bonus, And for the first time ever in the history of the regiment, tonight's senior show includes a number from this season's electric genre show. Up next, the percussion section is featured in this classic rock tune from Kansas. Here is Carry On, Wayward Son. Our senior salute continues as we turn back the clock to last year. I just can't handle it. I must get round to it. And it cries like a baby in the cradle all night. But senior auxiliaries are now featured as we swing and jive. Shake all over like a jellyfish to Queen's crazy little thing called love. Well, our trip down memory lane is about to come to a close, but not before we turn back the clock to when the seniors were wide-eyed freshmen and rocked out to Bon Jovi. To close out our show, seniors Noah Shea, George Harris, Emma Callagher, Frank Grandini, Trent Babcock, Natalie Arrington, and the regiment all wanted dead or alive, and we're all now just living on a prayer. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the 2020 Riverside Regiment Marching Band. Thank you, seniors! On behalf of the entire regiment, the staff, and our many volunteers, I'm Mike Korkowski, saying until next time, rock on, Regiment Jones!
What are you doing? Why are you up here? It is so cold. I'm freezing. Somehow you're wearing shorts.
Just become fat. It's easy.
I'll work on it. I'm ready to die. Oh, you behind me too?
Yes, I did.
The same question all the time. You ever think about coming back to football? No. Honestly, Juan, you can do the rest of the game, right? I'm going to go that. Honestly, I'm cool with that.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we'd like to take the opportunity to thank the Boardman football team and community for their generous donation prior to the game to the family of the new 7th grader Ashton Staten and the Staten Strong Fund. Riverside fans, let's show our appreciation to the Boardman football team and community with a round of applause. One more time, thank you, Boardman, for your generous donation. Remember, Riverside, stay Staten Strong.
Take it, boys! Let's go! Are we playing yet?
Just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, should be wearing the face mask all time inside the stadium. Wearing the face mask all time inside the stadium. Keep your social distance.
Back, ladies and gentlemen. Kick away for the Spartans once again. Away. Fielded.
Late flag coming in there. Usually flags after play tend to be personal. He called in Riverside, but yeah, I did see Huzika kind of talking to the ref, so we'll have to see which direction they go. And yeah, it will be on Huzika.
Unfortunately,
I mean, you can't say stuff to the ref. That just, you can't do that. And I mean, I knew like he thought there should have been a crackback block call, but like again, not that big of a deal. And you can't, like at the end of the day, you cannot talk to the ref. That's just one of the things you can't do.
No matter how much you want to.
Yeah, and that's just not something that you want to do to open up the half either. You give them great field position now if you're pinning them in a good spot for you.
Val knocked the ball all the way up to the 42. Hands it off to Swafford. Running around the right side, down just before the 50.
Matt Spofford on a carry. Matt Spofford on a carry. Nick Powell.
For the shot, or the half.
Hands it off. Right up the middle. And he'll be short of the first down.
Down front by
2, ball at the 49.
And this is huge here for Boardman. This would be a big stop.
And looks like the Beavers back 5 yards.
The ball back, so this is huge here.
Around the
Great job there by
number 4.
That kind of uses a pick. And then for the
Face and handoff up the middle.
Kevin Loper on the carry.
No gain on that play. Second down, or a gain of 1 on that play. Second down and 9.
First down by Jake Powell. Ryan Henry. Gain of 1. Second and 9.
Ball at the Spartan 37.
Great job there by the Spartan defensive line.
Lulo rolls out to the right, going downfield. Too far for his man. That pass is intent for number 2, Jameer Francis.
And if Jameer Francis put his arms out a little bit, I think he could have caught that.
It did seem to fly like kind of straight over his head, not to one side.
Yeah, so maybe hard to read it for him, but I mean, at first it did look like the ball was going too far, but it may have died down or something because I really thought he could have maybe extended his arm. He's a tall, lengthy kid. Could have got his hands on that one, but it's another hold your breath moment for the Spartan defense. And another 3rd and long for them.
3rd and 9. Man in motion. Lulo drops back under pressure, dumps it off. Gets past a tackler. Short of the first down. Goes out of bounds just before the 30.
And you'd have to think that they're going to probably go for it here. Because at this point, really a punt, if it goes in the end zone, they're only giving the ball 7 yards further. So it's almost a given they're going to go for it on probably a 4th and 4 here. So they've had a lot of success on the football, so look for something right around the sticks. They've had success with crossing routes and some pick routes, so probably go back to that, or maybe some curls on the outside.
Ulo hands it off. Tackle behind. He'll be short. That'll result in a turnover on downs.
Great job there by the Spartans. You see the whole entire sideline is into it. Playing strides again. We said it time and time again, he's a spark plug of the defense, a wrestler, tough mentality kid, and what a play when they needed him most to come down and right when the running back put his foot in the ground, get north and south and get those 4 yards. The defense did an amazing stop and got the offense back the ball, which is what the Spartan teams need to do. Keep the time of possession up and these that they're having.
First and it's tackled way behind that play.
You know, like Thomas, he knows he has the ability to make big plays at any time, but there are times when you just have to limit your loss, right? You might want to take like a 3-yard loss as opposed to a 6-yard loss, because you also have to set up your drive. You can't just worry about one play.
Loss of 6 on that last play. 2nd down and 16. Three wideouts to the left, 1 to the right. Treveri drops back, goes over the middle, picked off right over the middle. He's running back, nobody in front of him. He will walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Riverside. That was number 35, Dominic Trumba. 23 seconds left to play in the 3rd quarter.
But Riverside defense did a good job of faking that blitz, letting the Spartans check to that because you think you're going to do it, and then faking blitz and drop it. They blocked a field goal, so that's huge.
So they are a touchdown and we got the 2-point conversion that will tie the game.
So really what that does is that keeps it a 1-possession game. If they make that field goal, now they have to score twice. But by just having that, it's just an 8-point football game. Going into every game, you have your 2-point plays listed. So you have a handful of plays that you really like on the goal line that they're going to probably go to. So all you got to do is go down and score just like last drive. So that pick really doesn't even hurt you. So go down, score, get your 2-point, and you're tie up the ball game. So Spartans just got to throw that away and worry about the next play.
That blocked extra point will bring the score to Riverside 21, Boardman 13, with 8 minutes and 23 seconds left to play in the 3rd quarter. Kicking away for Riverside is number 26, Henry Bush.
Henry Bush to kick off.
No, he wasn't. We got lucky. It was a bad run. He's late.
Steve for Boardman, number 1. Anthony Hightower, number 2. Brady Joseph.
You end that play. He ends that play.
Ball's up and away.
Get on the ball!
Feel it at the 25. It's taken by Cam Thompson. Thompson down just past the 30.
So we talked about earlier too. You just got to get north and south. You can't always try and create the biggest play ever on a kickoff. The point of a kick return is to set your offense up for a good field position. They're having short kicks, so there's no reason why they shouldn't be on the 40 every single drive to start. They get what, they're on the 37, or excuse me, the 32, which is only 7 yards from what a touchback would be, because we want to go side to side instead of just getting your foot in the ground, you're athletic enough, fast enough, get north and south and get your offense set up.
Treveri hands it off to O'Horo. Fighting for yards. Doesn't look like there's a gain on that play.
Sean O'Horo on the carry, stopped by Don Trumbo and Wyatt Wonderly. No gain on the play.
And the line on both sides of Boardman, just a lot of inconsistency tonight. And discipline and consistency are two of the most important things in football, and they're just struggling to do that, both on the offense and defensive line. They have a really good play where they create a lot of separation, open up holes on like some outside zones and stuff, and they have plays like that.
Man motion, that's Thomas. Thomas ran around the left side, gets tackled from behind. That was number 51, Matt Watson, on the tackle.
Great job there by Matt Watson to stretch the play out wide and then really able to arm tackle Thomas by getting on his jersey and pulling him to the ground. And then the Spartans are in another 3rd and 9 situation. You cannot have 3rd and 9s where you're behind where you need to be. You need to set up for your – on first down, you got to set up for 2nd and 3rd down. So
3rd down and 9. Treveri drops back under pressure, and he is sacked way behind the line of scrimmage, down at about the 25. Loss of 8 on that play.
By Tom Straba and Hayford.
It seems like Riverside's really found out how to figure something out on the offensive line here, where they can really attack them on their weak point. So what that means is what the Spartans might want to do is you bring an extra, like you use Fleming in the backfield now, use him as an extra blocker now, and then the tailback too, and you can have 7-man up front, meaning you have 7-man protection, and a defense usually blitzes 4 down linemen, and then they might bring some backers, which they tend to be doing. And, oh my goodness.
As they're playing the ball away, it's a player, I think that was number 3, Cam Thompson.
And just not going the Spartans' way right now. That could have ruled for really another 10 to even 20 yards. That a lot of movement on it and really good spin. But again, we get in the way of our own selves. So really, Boardman's just beating Boardman at this point in the ball game. And with a lot of those mistakes, it is a 1-touchdown football game. So they need to realize that and say, hey guys, like we're in this game. Let's respond now. Let's get a 3-and-out here and go down and score like we have. Like they've had, I think, 3 drives where they've sustained over 5 plays to go down and score for over 50 yards. So they can get that together again. They're right back in this ball game.
1st and 10. Handoff through a hole, down just before the 50. That would, trying to see who that was on that run. I believe that was number 38, Cayman Locker. Gain of 5 yards on that play. 2nd down and 5. Or 6 yards, 2nd down and 4. 5 minutes and 43 seconds left to play in the 3rd quarter. Clock is ticking. Lulo hands it off to Spofford. Spartan defense wrapping him up behind the line of scrimmage. Nice play there by the Spartan defense.
So where the Spartans are deficient, meaning on first down they're not doing a good job of setting themselves up for 2nd and 3rd down, that's where Riverside is having a lot of success, but then they're struggling on 2nd and 3rd down. So really like a football game of 2 sides here, 2 stories on each side of the football. So for Riverside, it's like, all right, we really got to finish these drives and these first downs where you have a good first down, then you got to finish it. And the Spartans, you have to have a good first down before you have those big plays.
3rd down and 5. Lulo fakes the handoff, dumps it off to Spofford. Tackled, goes down, and he'll pick up the 1st down.
Now, I know that is a first down. You won't want that, but I don't know if you guys saw Thomas's athleticism to spin out of a block, but also at the same time, when they tell you never spin, right? You never want to spin because they can get outside of you. He did go up. Once he recognized the guy had worked forward and he was even with him, then he spun out of it to get in there and make the tackle to stop that from possibly going 50 yards for a touchdown. So good job and good athleticism there by Thomas, but unfortunately a first down because you let it get all the way out to your corner to make a play.
Looks like Spofford was hurt on that play. Seemed to be grabbing his knee.
This safety's got to get downhill. Number 5.
And he appears to be walking off the field on his own power.
He's not in the picture. That should be hit. I mean, 3-6-3-6.
First down and 10. Ball at the 45. Lulu hands it off. Spartan defense tackles him just about the 45. So there was a flag on the play.
Looks like it's going to be a face mask on Boardman. And again, they're hurting themselves. You do a great job of keeping them behind the sticks on that first down, and then you hurt yourselves and give them possibly 15. Now there's a face mask rule where it could be 5 or 15, but just not helping themselves here in the start off the second half. And the way Riverside runs their offense, they chew a lot of clock. So you look at the clock, there's under 5 minutes left in the third quarter. So Spartans really got to figure something out here and come together as a team and play together as a unit and just cut down on the mistakes, because in the playoffs like tonight and against good football teams, you don't lose on the plays you make, you lose on the mistakes you make. So Spartans really have to figure something out here and get a stop here to keep it a one-score game.
First and 10. Ulo throws it to the left side. Gets through that first tackler, goes by him, gets through. I believe that was number 23, Mason Stevens, on the reception.
So instead of a 1 yard gain or even a tackle for loss, they get 4 yards because the defender dove and left his feet. What defensive coaches always teach is you want to drive through the defender and keep your feet. And the cornerback for the Spartans just left his feet and tried to grab instead of running through the tackle, which led to a gain instead of a tackle for loss.
Ulo hands it off up the middle. Runs through the first line of defense for the Spartans, down just about the 5-yard line.
And again, just more missed tackles. The Spartans have to stop doing that. That's really what's been kind of their kryptonite all year, is just missed tackles. They're in the right position a lot of the time, but the other team's yards after contact are usually more than just the yards before contact, because of a lot of trying to arm tackle or leaving your feet instead of getting in the right position. And even if you have to take on the hit and not give it, at least you're making the tackle.
Hands off. Wrapped up there. I'm trying to see who that was on that tackle.
Great job there by the Spartan defensive line. What I've noticed throughout the game is they're playing really well on the goal line. Like they're really good at shooting off the ball and getting upfield penetration when their back's against the wall. But they really got to figure that out in the middle of the field and limit the big run plays that's happening.
Hands it off up the middle. Gain of about gain of 7 on that run. Third and goal, ball at the 3-yard line.
It's a big third down here for the Spartans.
Hands it off once again. And he is fighting for the end zone. And he stripped the ball. At the 35.
Oh my goodness. I thought they were going to go around and the offensive line for Riverside was pushing them into the end zone. And then I just see Jake Powell running down the sideline with the football. Oh my goodness, what a change of events and change of emotion within 2 seconds there. Great job
for the Spartans.
Exactly. Great job by Jake Powell of somehow finding the football in a clutter of defenders and offensive people, and then advancing the ball forward to the minus 40. So great job there by Jake Powell and that Spartan defense of just being resilient and staying strong.
Fortunately, looks like we have an injured Spartan back by the 10-yard line. That was Richie Evans. Back at the 10-yard line. Looks like he's walking off the field now. So after that last play, the Spartans will set up shop at the 35-yard line. Scored 21-13. Riverside leads with 2 minutes and 19 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Spartans with three wideouts to the left, one to the right. Treveri hands it off to O'Horo. O'Horo, nice run on that play. Gain of about 5 on that run. Second down and 5. Ball at the Spartan 40.
Getting 5 on the play. There's a second 5 at the Spartan 40 right now.
And it's
Going deep down the side. Running into the end zone. Touchdown Spartans.
What a play by the Spartans. Cam Thomas creating a great release off the line of scrimmage, getting vertical downfield, and then just simply outrunning the defender. And then Treveri doing a great job. What quarterbacks are taught to do, give your receiver a chance to go and get the football. It doesn't need to be a perfect ball where you might overthrow it, especially when you have athletes on the outside like the Spartans do. And just all-around great play. The line gave Treveri enough time. Treveri put the ball up and great on the outside shoulder, and then Cam just creating a great release off the line of scrimmage and just simply outrunning the defender.
You trust your kicker with everything too here. You can kick the field goal. The percentages say go for it. Whichever one you like. Either one.
Looks like the Spartans are debating whether to go for the 2-point conversion or not.
My mom just texted me, so what happened in the live feed, it keeps going back. Oh, you got it.
67 still left. 67 still left.
Minute 45 left in the third quarter.
And the Riverside players still down, but probably benefiting the Spartans here, whether deciding to go for 2 or not. Again, personally, I would go for 2 here. You want to tie the game. If you don't get it, still within a field goal. So, and you're not guaranteed to score again. This game has been pretty hard fought. They have shown that they can score and put together drives, but at the same time, the second half has been pretty tough for them. So I say you go and try and attack it right now, and it's playoffs. You got nothing to lose. Just go and get it. Go take what you want. So you again, like we talked about earlier, you have a few 2-point plays that you really like. You can pick the hash you want it on. And so let's say like a lot of teams try to run like a miniature flood concept where you have run the front pylon, another back pylon, then a crosser. You roll out to it and try and get that ball low and away, where you can put the ball in the left hash for that, or an endless opportunity of things. You can run the Philly special, which we've seen, whatever you want. But like, it's nice that you have the opportunity to go on either hash and kind of decide where you want the ball at to put yourself in a good position to get the 2-point.
That injured Beaver was James Bruno, a very noble player in the game so far.
And it looks like they're gonna go for it. So, and they're in that 4 kind of people in the backfield.
Treveri rolling out to the left side, dumps it off for the 2-point conversion.
Great play call by the Spartans. They pushed them early. Again, you Thomas the best way they can. Use him as a decoy. What do most teams do on the goal line when they need something? You give it to your best player, right? So the Riverside's gonna expect that. So they fake the pitch to him, first get the ball. throw by Treveri, lead him in the end zone, and then O'Hara just to find the pylon and get in. Great play call and great execution by the players. To tie this ball game up 21-21 with about 1:40 left to go in the third quarter, and we have ourselves a playoff football game.
We will be back, or we'll actually stay on. Teams are taking the field. Minute 45 left in the third quarter. Kicking away is number 29, Carson Essed. Back to receive for Riverside. I believe that was against number 16, Brady McKnight. Ball is up and away.
Good kick there by Carson.
Fielded at the 5. Running around the left side. Gets through. Shakes off a few tacklers down at the 45. Turn to 40 yards there.
40 yards on the return. Brought down by Ashton LaBelle.
Tackled by LaBelle.
Riverside from the 45-yard line.
And
And looks like we have an injured Spartan on the field.
it's like number 2, Braden Joseph, who seemed to almost make the play, but then I think he got hurt before. I think he got blocked into someone, and
I did see someone kind of fly in the air.
something like a knee or something. So hopefully he's okay. He's a really tough kid. First-year player here at Boardman from high school. Broken hand earlier, set up. So really tough kid. Expect him to hopefully be back if it's nothing too serious.
Wait, where'd he get hurt? Alright, Corn. Infraction.
First and 10, ball at the 45. Man motion. Running around the right side. Gets tackled right behind the line of scrimmage.
And
Back
that,
to the 40.
what a play there by the Spartans. That's exactly how the linebackers are taught in the Spartan defense. You use the block and you extend them upfield and then you rip off whichever direction. What he did was he used the offensive blocker to force the runner back inside, which is what his job is, and then he shucked him off and came up and made the tackle for a tackle for loss. So great job. That's how you're supposed to play that. And Spartans, that momentum's coming back to them for the end of this third quarter here to set Riverside up for a second and long now behind the chains.
Loss of 2 on that last play. 2nd and 12. Ulo drops back. Fires to the right side. Picked off. Number 30, Blaine Strines with the tip. So close.
And if he gets that ball, I mean, he has a lot of room to work with. Now, again, the Riverside team here has a lot of speedy guys, but it's been huge for the Spartans. But again, that's still a great play. You get a pass breakup, there's no yards gained, and now you have 3rd and 12. They don't do great in these 3rd and longs other than that one in the first half where they converted on that rollout, but Spartans have to play good here.
And the Spartan side is shaking. Ulo throws it to the left side. Picked off right at the 45.
What a play there by Sean O'Hara, playing the flat, seeing the ball, and then reading and coming back inside to lay out and make an interception. Great job. Great offensively. And now the Spartans have the ball back. All the momentum in the side. 40 seconds left here in the third quarter. And great job there by the Spartans.
40 seconds in the third quarter. Spartans set up with good field position at the 46.
And
Spartans 2 wide out set. Dumps it off to Thomas. Thomas gets to a gap. Brought down at the 47.
great job there by the Spartans. Now that's what we're talking about. That's how you have to come out on a first down. Attack downhill. Terrence Thomas did a great job. He didn't try and dance. He just put his foot in the ground, put his shoulders down, and got his pads low and just got what he could get. And look at what happens when you just run downhill. And now, again, we talked about it all game. Your playbook's open on a second and short. You can maybe take a shot. You have a lot of one-on-ones open right now. You take a shot downfield, especially with Cam Thompson down here.
2nd and 3. Pass intended for number 3, Cam Thompson. Sailed past him.
But back to that, this Riverside defense, they're only having one defender over top, both Hightower and Cam Thompson. You'd think they would respect that a little bit more, maybe try and bracket it or put a safety over top on both sides, like some cover 2 man or something, where you have one guy man, then you have the 2 safeties over top. But I didn't really expect it, and Treveri's shown that he can make those throws. So now you see that kind of too high safety look, but waited a pretty long time to get there.
Treveri dumps it off to Thomas. Thomas shakes that tackle, picks up the first down.
And Thomas doing a great job of knowing where the first down is and extending the ball out there and getting it. So the Spartans going into the fourth quarter, that's exactly how you want to end it. And first down Spartans to go into this first quarter with, really it feels like a home game with the way the Spartans fans have come out tonight and created a lot of energy along with the sideline. So 21, but it almost feels like the Spartans are up right now.
That play will bring an end to the third quarter. Once again, score tied at 21. We'll be back at the start of the fourth and final quarter of this playoff game. First and 10 for the Spartans. Ball at the 44. Treveri drops back, goes deep down the side.
Ooh.
Too far. There's a flag on that play.
And that's what we were talking about. That now they put that safety over top, and they had the double move, beat one defender. But by doing that, the safety just kind of getting scared that he's going to make a play, creates a pass interference, and that's just as good as a completion. You take your 15 yards every week. At this stage in the game, 15 yards is everything, because what does that do? It helps you sustain your drive, it gets you into almost field goal range, and it helps that momentum just keep on coming. If you look at both sidelines right now, you look at this Riverside sideline, hands on the other side, just all kind of huddled up, and the Spartans are ecstatic right now, running around, creating energy, and that kind of tells you where this game is at right now. Yes, the score is tied, but the energy is really where it's at in the momentum. And look at, you have Hightower down here one-on-one again, and they're trying to bracket Cam Thompson.
Treveri hands it off to O'Horo. Run up the middle, gain of about 2 or 3 yards on that run.
And that's all you need on first down. You just got to get positive yards. If you can at least get 3 yards on the first down, that helps you set yourself up for second and third down. You don't always need all the 10. You just need to keep setting up for second and third down.
Second down and 6 for the Spartans. All at the 25.
And if I'm the Spartans here, you got to think maybe a play action, especially with they're starting to run the ball now, and you have a one-on-one down here on the bottom of the field where some play action might get the corner in, but at the same time, you have a one-on-one, you might want to take a shot.
Treveri dumps it off to Thomas. Thomas running around the right side, trying to find a hole. Stiff arms a man, rolls down past the 20.
And that is a first down Spartans. Great block there by Fleming and O'Horo, sealing the outside, getting the outside linebacker and forcing him in to create that outside lane for Thomas, creating a one-on-one on the corner where all you need is 7 yards there for the first down. That's what it is. And again, football is just about moving the chains. You don't big plays, just keep getting first downs and you're going to win the football game.
1st and 10, ball at the 18. Treveri hands it off to at the 15, gain of 3 yards.
Job of making the defender miss and then getting north and south. You don't want to keep dancing. Make one defender miss, put your foot on the ground, get north and south, and now you set yourself up for, again, 3-4 yards on first down is all you need.
Spartans getting sent over from the sideline.
As you can see now on the top of the field, they're bracketing Cam Thompson. But they're playing in. Oh, they just got Riverside jump offside.
Offside against Riverside. Five-yard penalty.
That'll be offside on Riverside.
From the Riverside 10-yard line.
And 2 for the Spartans. Treveri. And that, I believe that will pick up the first down. And it does. First and goal, ball at the 7-yard line.
And they're all kind of doing to Riverside as Riverside did to them. They have the running the foot decently enough, and they're throwing the ball really well on top of that.
Treveri dumps it off to Thomas. Thomas looking for a hole, gets tackled behind for a loss there. Tackle back around.
Loss of 6 on the play.
Loss of 6 on that play. 2nd down and 13. Ball at the 13-yard line with 9 minutes and 22 seconds left to play in the 4th quarter. Treveri under pressure, throws it away, picked off in the end zone. Pass intended for, I believe that was number 22, Nate Fleming.
The very pass intercepted by Jameer Francis.
You know, you really shouldn't try and force a pass like that under pressure.
First and 10 Riverside at the 20-yard line.
You know, because as we saw, you know, Jason Treveri was definitely getting a lot of pressure in the pocket. You know, he was definitely collapsing very fast, and he had to push off of it and tried to force a pass to the end zone. But, you know, you already had almost 2 or 3 people there, and one man just ended up getting in front of Fleming and the interception.
And again, like a play like that, it almost looked like it was like an RPO type, with the way the line kind of was run blocking. And at the same time, you want to create a good play, and you know, like it's like the way you're taught that is that's your option or nothing else, right? You hand the ball off or you take that option. So you're going to try and force it, but again, like you have to know, inside your red zone or the opposite red zone, you can't throw an interception or turn the ball over. Then you'll learn.
In the middle, almost picked off by number 4, Terrence Thomas.
Oh, and Terrence Thomas was making that ball, make it to the ball play there, but back to that play right before the turnover. On that, though, you just have to know, okay, just take the sack, live the fight another day. You're in, you can still go up. And that's just tough, okay? Like, it's a young quarterback. That's a really hard to learn through. He's going to learn from that. And Treveri's a really good quarterback, so he's going to learn from that and make a next play later on in the game. So, really, Spartans have nothing to worry about. Just got to shake it off and keep playing.
Ulo hands it off to Spofford. Spofford running down the sideline. Man in pursuit. Doesn't get there. He will run into the end zone. Touchdown, Riverside.
And, I mean, what a run there by Spofford. Really big athletic kid, got to the outside, broke 2 or 3 tackles to get down there. Just looks like an injured Spartan.
Looks like that's Anthony Hightower.
But, I mean, just a good play there by Spofford. Just really athletic guy. They did great blocking on the outside to spur that. Now what do the Spartans have to do? They just have to respond. They've responded well. We haven't seen them in a tight game yet, but they've responded well the entire game. They just have to keep doing that. You have a lot of time left. Just under 9 minutes to play. That's an eternity in the fourth quarter of football. So just go down, keep what you're doing. They sustained almost 5 drives now, which is hard for them to do. It looks like they're going for 2 here, so this could be big for the Spartans.
Riverside, 2 wideouts to the left, to the right. Man motion. Luo rolling out to the left side, throws it, and they will not get that 2-point conversion.
And that is huge for the Spartan football team. Now all they need is a touchdown, and they can get a field goal and go by 1. So what that 2-point does is that just only hurt Riverside, the momentum game. Now the Spartans are like, okay, hey, now we can get on the score, and if we get so all the Spartans have to do now is do what they did last time. Have a good first down, have a good first play of the drive, and then just keep trying to convert those first downs, work down the field, burn some clock, and go down and score. They cannot get down themselves though. Looks like they've moved Terrence Thomas up to that, not the back deep, up to that second level, because that's where the kicks have been. I've seen they've done that a few times now, but if this Riverside team is smart, you got to kick it to the left, just get it away from him, because it can create some headaches for you on a kickoff team.
Bush kicks it away. Field back at the 5. Running around the right side, that's Brian Joseph. Joseph fighting for a few extra yards, gets to about the 22.
Now, after he got doing a really good job making the defender miss, getting north and south. Good job. But on a kickoff, you have to catch it. You can't let it bounce. Like, it's not like a punt where they can down it. That's a live football for both teams there. So you just got to get on that, because if it doesn't take a perfect bounce like it did, and Riverside gets down there in time, that could have been very, very bad for the Spartan team. But hey, now they're in great position here to create a really long drive, use some clock, just keep doing what they're doing and having really good first down plays.
1st and 10, hand off to Ohoro. Ohoro running on the left side, trying to get through a gap, and he gets tripped up just before the 40.
That is a great first play of the drive. Good job by Ohoro. He got stopped in the backfield, kept his eyes open, had really good vision, saw up on the left side, got there, and then got north and south again. He didn't just bounce it to the outside and run laterally. Got north and south, then tried to go there, got tripped up, but hey, that's a 2-yard play on first down to start a drive where you really need something going. So great job there by him.
Hands it off to Ohoro. Gain of about 1 on that play.
John O'Horo on the carry. Stopped by Dominic Tromba.
2nd down and 9.
And the Riverside linemen on both sides of the football are pretty big kids and just doing a great job of coming off the ball hard and fast.
Treveri drops back, going down the sideline.
He caught the football. Oh my goodness!
And he catches it.
On the ground, he caught
Catches it anyway.
I can't really comprehend how they don't throw a flag there as you see the rip from his chest, but the concentration there by Thompson to be on his back on the ground and still be able to catch the football with the defender laying on him is just something you see on a SportsCenter top 10. So great body control as Centino. This game that Thompson has amazing body control and the awareness to still be able to see the football as you're getting tackled to the ground. And again, I don't know how there's not a flag to the end of that, but
Treveri fakes the handoff, going down the left side. And that is picked off. Thomas slipped. He's going down the sideline. In pursuit. Gets past the tackler. Still going into the end zone.
Treveri's pass intercepted and returned for a touchdown by Isaiah Drake. 85 yards.
and that is not what the Spartans need there to go down 2 scores now. But again, you have enough time where you can respond well and try and go down and score, but definitely puts you in a hole.
Lua takes it. Hands off, and he doesn't get there. Flag on the play.
Boston on the carry, tripped up by O'Horo, flag on the play. Holding against Riverside. Penalty be declined.
It's holding on Riverside. They will decline that penalty.
Riverside 33, Boardman 21.
Score is Riverside 33, Boardman 21. With 7 seconds left to play in the fourth quarter. We'll be back when the teams take the field.
Henry Bush to kick off. Deep for Boardman, number 2. Braden Joseph.
About 7 minutes and 30 seconds left. The Spartans do have a good enough amount of time to go down and score here. And they have the athletes to do that in the time that they need, right? They have, even though Treveri's thrown a few interceptions tonight, he's still a really good quarterback that can make the throws that you need him to make. Going down to start a drive here, and they have athletes all around the field to help them do that.
Thomas taking it down at the 27.
Terrence Thomas on return, brought down by Joe Ellie. First and 10,
7 minutes and 22 seconds left to play in the fourth quarter. First and 10. Treveri takes it, hands it off. Going forward, down just before the 35.
And the way Boardman's running game is working, once you run O'Horo enough, he starts to wear out that defense. And now those 1, 2, 3 yard runs are becoming 4, 5, 6, or like popping runs outside. So you just can't get greedy throwing the ball, which is kind of what happened on that last drive. They completed the one fade, and then they tried to go back to it instead of, okay, let's get back to our run game and get the defenders back in the box, then we'll take the shots downfield. So just cannot get greedy throwing the football there, and just really focus on kind of having that good balance of run the pass, which isn't 50-50. It's just what is needed in the game and not overdoing one or the other.
3rd down and 4. 2 wideouts to the left, to the right. Treveri drops back. Fires to the left side. That's complete to Terrence Thomas. And that will move the chains.
Really good throw there. Throw and catch there by Treveri and Thomas. So sets up a good first down at the 50.
1st and 10. Treveri hands it off to O'Horo. O'Horo going around the left side, gets wrapped up just past the 45.
And O'Horo's a really good north and south runner, so that's just, like, he doesn't usually try and go side to side too much. He just needs to get his foot in the ground and get north and south there. He did a good job of having vision, finding the hole outside, but then he just needs to get north and south, not try and create a big play there.
Treveri under pressure, throws it away, incomplete, and there is a flag on the play.
Very fast intended for Cam Thompson. Incomplete, covered by Mason
Looking like
Stevens.
that's on Riverside.
And
Pass interference.
it is will be pass interference on Riverside there, but really Boardman just catching a break there. Pass protection wasn't great up front. They were in Treveri's face. He had to work outside the pocket and try and make a throw back into the middle of the field, which is always very difficult and usually advised against because the lanes are just different from that viewpoint. So really got lucky there that it was pass interference call.
Hands it off to O'Horo. O'Horo fighting for extra yards down at the 30.
And that's how O'Horo has to run. He could have tried to cut outside there, but instead he just said, I'm going to put my shoulder down, get what I can get, and now what do you have? 2nd and 1. Now if you want to take a shot downfield, this is the time because you set up it on your first down. So good job there by O'Horo.
2nd and 1. Hand off to O'Horo again. O'Horo running around the right side. Down at the 23.
Another great, and that's exactly what we talked about. The way O'Horo runs is you wear down a defense, and now in the 4th quarter, those runs start to pop. Offense is moving fast and getting set, and O'Horo's running the ball really well. But, you just got to move on and get to the next one.
2nd down and 9. Treveri takes it, throws it to the right side for Thomas. Did he catch it?
He caught the ball.
And he catches it just at the 3-yard line.
Great catch there by Terrence Thomas.
Thomas, covered by
1st and goal at the 3-yard line.
And another note, the Spartans have done a great job of keeping the clock in mind and going down there.
Hands it off to O'Horo, and he gets in. Touchdown, Spartans.
Great run there by O'Horo. Great push up front by the Spartan lines. You can see a lot of Riverside defenders are still on the ground, noticeably upset and really worn out. The Spartans did an amazing job of just getting on the ball, moving pretty fast, and running the football, not trying to force throws. And by doing that, they worked on the field, and then throws opened up down the field as you move defenders back in the box by running the football well. And then those runs are starting to pop as you start to wear down that defensive line. So great response here by the Spartans.
Extra play, and it is good. That'll bring the score to 33-28. Riverside leads with 5 minutes and 17 seconds left to play in the final quarter. We'll be back when the teams retake the field.
Boardman scoring drive. They went 72 yards in 10 plays, 2:05 off the clock. Final 3 yards from Sean O'Horo to the end zone for the touchdown.
Spartans on that last drive ran 8 plays for 76 yards and took up 2 minutes and 10 seconds off the clock.
Mind. This is not a situation that you would want to onside kick it. 5 minutes, 20 seconds. Get the ball to Riverside. Really, you've played well defensively. Riverside scored on big plays or big mistakes. They haven't scored on their own. They haven't earned scores, really. So, kick the ball deep. They don't have blocking up front, so you have a really good opportunity to pin them back deep.
Ball is up and away, kicked by Esed. Fielded at the 10. Running to the right side, and he gets tripped up at 5. Nice defense by the Spartans there.
And 39, Jared Mahood, really doing everything he could to get that tackle in open space. He was getting blocked. He's on the ground. He's just reaching, and that's just toughness and grittiness by Mahood there to go and make that tackle. So great job by him. That's another young guy that you'll see in the future for the Spartan defense come up at making a play on special teams when they need it. You saw a lot of the Spartan defenders were out of their lanes and not where they needed to be. And if he doesn't make that play, it's another mistake for Boardman that leads to Riverside having a big play. And instead, they're on the 24-yard line because of Mahood.
1st and 10. Looks at himself.
And there it is again, the arm tackles and missed tackles in space. Yes, you want to force them back inside from the outside linebacker position, but at the same time, you have to close that space and make the tackle. So by doing that, you give them 8 yards instead of a gain of 2. So got to work on that intermediate sense of keep them inside, but also make the tackle.
2nd down and 7. Riverside, 3 outs to the right, 1 to the left. Hands it off, up the middle. Keeps going down at the 40. I believe that was number 38, Cayman Locker on the carry.
And the Spartans are only down 5 here, so you don't even need to worry. First thought is let's get the 3 and out, right? Focus on this play that we have at hand. But now, as us kind of as viewers of it, once you get the ball back, they don't need to worry about that extra point 2 conversion to at least tie the game. Only down 5, so you just need a score to go ahead.
Hands it off, running around the right side. And he is short of the 1st down. Bringing up about 2nd and 2. Locker running the ball on that play once again. 3 minutes and 50 seconds left to play in the 4th quarter. Clock is running.
And 8 yards on 1st down is just, you can't do that. It just makes it so much easier to giving 2 yards and making them have to gain 8. Spartans need something big here, and they're not going to be throwing the ball in this situation. They just want to run the clock. They're going to let the play clock get down before they snap it as well.
Takes it himself. Gets wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. Loss of about 1 or 2 on that play. That was number 57, Ryan Henry on the tackle.
Great job there by Ryan Henry, and the rest of the Spartan defenders is the Popio defense. They preach knock back, meaning once you make contact with the runner, push him backwards so he doesn't fall forward for an extra yard or 2. So great job there, holding them on that 2nd down. Now it's a 3rd down, and this is
3rd down and 2.
Big moment in the game here with less than 3 minutes to play.
Below hands it off up the middle, and he is short.
And the Spartans call a timeout with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left. And a 4th and 1. What a situation we have at exactly midfield.
Brings up 4th and 1 for midfield. Timeout, Boardman.
They'll mark him back. 4th and 1, 2 minutes, 41 seconds.
Now, with the timeout, the clock stops. So Riverside, expect them to come out in their offense and try and go on 2 or 3 or just really just try and draw you offside until they either have to call timeout for the play clock goes or just take it. In their situation, you'd think they just go until you have to call a timeout or just take the penalty, which is like 5 yards for delay of game. And the Spartans just have to know and be aware of the situation. You can offsides and give them. You have to let them earn it. And if they can do that, then I do believe that the Beavers will once they cannot draw the Spartans offside. So, and then the Spartans, you have 2 minutes and 40 seconds to work. That is a long time when you have 3 timeouts. And the way that Stain drives, the last drive it took them 2 minutes and 10 seconds. So if you do that same drive, which I thought was a pretty long drive, then you still have time left on the clock. Plus, you can use your timeouts. Or excuse me. The Spartan defensive line has to be disciplined here. They cannot jump off sides.
Big moment for the Spartans here. 4th and 1.
And they're going to try and hard. They're just going to take the penalty here. So the Spartan defensive line, the coaches had to have produced on the sideline. They're going to try and just, there it is. So really nerve-wracking there for the Spartan defensive line. Like, you cannot jump off sides in that situation. And if you can kind of tell the little thing they did, they brought the quarterback on the line of scrimmage. That way, that voice, if he can really let go and really be loud with it, stay right in that defensive line's faces and really try and draw them off sides and force them to go. Because on 4th and 1, you still have to expect them to run a play if you're in the ball game, right? So you're really energetic and ready to go. So great job and great discipline there by the Spartans.
Teams are coming back onto the field. 4th and 1. 2 minutes and 41 seconds left in the 4th quarter.
And
Riverside, 2 wide out to the right, 1 to the left. 2 men in the backfield with Wulo.
And again, the Spartans got to be disciplined here. And they're going to do the punt.
And they will punt it away. Flies out of bounds at about the 20-yard line. 2 minutes and 35 seconds. Have 80 yards to go.
And they give him the ball on the 28-yard line. Wow, the referee gave a good spot there for the Spartans. Looked initially like it'd be on the 20, but then it seemed like that's where it landed, so then he marked it off to go back towards it. So great field position here for the Spartans, and then, meaning not great field position where they're on the 50, but where they can use the clock to their advantage where, yes, you have to be in a hurry, but the way they've run their offense, it's going to work towards them where they can go down and score. Riverside won't have much time left.
Hands it off to O'Horo. O'Horo still going forward, down just before the 40, down at the 37-yard line.
And great run. Set the tone, putting your shoulder down, running someone over, and now 2nd and short.
Gain of 9 on that last play.
And Riverside is all over the place.
Treveri takes it, throws it, pass complete. Down at the 43.
And it looks like there is a flag down.
Wait to see who that was on. Pass interference on Boardman. Call that on number 22, Nate Fleming.
And in that type of situation, the ball didn't even go to Fleming. The referees are going to call kind of what you think is a petty penalty there. Really interesting call there by the referees in a crunch time situation in a playoff game. Just, I don't really agree with that. The point is to let the players play, so.
I'll knock him back to the 20. Treveri throws the left side. Picked off, and that will go into the end zone. Touchdown, Riverside. Pass intended for number 4, Terrence Thomas. Intercepted by number 2, Jameer Francis. Back-breaking play for the Swans there.
And now that will make it a 2-possession game.
With 1 minute and 54 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
And that pass interference call, it puts you back where now you have to throw the football in a situation they probably would have run it with the way that they were able to run the football. Instead, they have to throw the ball and then just an overthrow and then a great play by the defender to stay with the ball. Just really not a good turn of events there.
Go for the 2-point conversion, don't make it. Pass intended for, I think that was number 8, James Bruno.
39, Boardman 28.
Now, to go back to experience I've had my sophomore year versus Cardinal Mooney, really the same exact situation. You're down 2 scores with about 2 minutes left. We went down and scored. We got the onside kick, and then we scored again. So they're not out of it. They have the athletes to do it. They have a running back that you have to respect, and they have 3 receivers that are threats. And Treveri, again, he's had some interceptions tonight, right? But you can make those throws downfield. The receivers go up and get them, and really you can't. You have to just say, I'm going to trust him at this point. You can't really waver now at this point in the game. You have to trust your guys, and you have to go out and you got to try and make this happen. It's not impossible though. It's doable. They found some things that are working. They just got to go to those and go to them very quickly. They do have 2 timeouts with 2 minutes left in the ball game, and they're getting the ball.
Kicking away for Riverside is once again number 26, Henry Bush. Back to receive is number 4, Terrence Thomas.
And now they've put Thomas in the middle of the field where they used to have him outside.
Squib kick there. Take it just before the 20. Tried to make some out of it. Goes down at the 30.
And that's what you need out of your return. Just get north and south, set your offense up. So you're on the, the 31 now. Try and go the length of the field here. But you have to do it, and you have to be very urgent. You have to be urgent now. You don't have time to wait around. So, interestingly enough, though, right? They are down 11, okay? So, if you're running out of time here, you could kick the field goal and try and get the onside, and then you can score and go for 2.
Treveri rolls out to the right side, going deep for Fleming. Just too far, right through his fingertips.
And, I mean, that was a good ball. He just mistimed the jump. He jumped way too early instead of running under it. And that's the second deep ball tonight that has just been misplayed by the wide receivers.
Now bring up 2nd down and 10, ball at the 32.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Second down and 10. Runs with 3 routes to the right, 1 to the left. Treveri Looking. Rolls out to the right side. Gets sacked.
And the ball is out.
25. Ball is out.
And
did they recover it?
Looks like a Spartan offensive lineman fell on it, but the clock's still running. The receivers are walking back to the football. They got to run to the football and get set. I really don't understand why they're walking right now. It's almost.
Tackle was made by side. Brings up 3rd and 16.
Treveri going to the sideline for Thomas. And incomplete. That was number 20, Caden Tinner, on the coverage.
Pass intended for Terrence Thomas. Broken up by Tinner. Brings up 4th and 16.
1 minute and 3 seconds left in the fourth quarter. 11. 4th down and 16. Treveri takes it. Going for the sideline again. And right through his hands. Should have been picked on that play.
And I think the defender did a smart job there of playing unselfish football, knocking the ball down so they have better field position there. But, I mean, just the way the Spartans really ended that.
26-yard line.
Off now, that's not what you want to see out of a football team late in a playoff game. Kind of looked like they quit on themselves when it was only 3rd down and they could still make some plays happen. So they do have the opportunity to play more games this year. You can schedule exhibitions if the state of Ohio is allowing if you don't get your full 10 games like you would in a normal season or a non-COVID year. But want to finish a game there.
Handoff, running around the right side.
And now at this point, it's just and keeping them out of the end zone. Like, you can't just let things happen. You got to play with some heart here and try and finish the ball game.
Gain of 10 on the play. First and 10.
I believe the Spartans will be playing Cheney next. They'll be playing Cheney at home.
Takes the knee.
And game's wrapping up here.
And that will end the Spartans' playoff run.
Your final score, Riverside 30. Spartans clock winding down, 10 seconds left. That will, like Mike said, that's the end of the Cheney at home. And what a great run for the Spartans this season. Unfortunately, they couldn't quite get it done, but they still play with a lot of heart. But that'll be it for us tonight. I'm Guy Tepsik and Santino Angelilli, and we'll see you next time.
Riverside advances to play Hudson, a 42-0 winner over Bedford this evening.